today we're going to look at a recent logo design project that I worked on at the end of May and why it was successful and how you can repeat that success for yourself in your graphic design career. There are various different ways to gain success in a logo design project, and I do take a slightly different path with each different logo. So the client who commissioned me to work on their logo is an established firm who specializes in educating businesses on the dangers of asbestos and other hazards in the workplace. AAA has been around for 18 years, and it was time that they had a rebrand. The person I spoke with initially told me they had tried to design something on their own accord based around a AAA typography solution, but it didn't work out for them, and that is where I came into the picture. I first had to do the thing I always talk about on this channel, which in my professional opinion is 100% necessary, and that is research. Research should be and is the backbone of any logo design project. It really props it up and it really sets things up for success down the line. And without actual research, your design will probably fall flat. It is possible to kind of wing it and end up with a design solution the client wants or accepts, but that's not going to happen that often, and you could end up with a better design solution with ideal research. The target market is always something I look at before designing concepts for a logo, but in this instance it was very important to take note of. I had asked the client what their target market was made up of, and the response I received is that it's comprised of government departments and local councils, construction, asbestos surveying and removal companies, the Ministry of Defence, and the manufacturing sector, to name a few. So as you can see, it's a varied list, but essentially they are all professionals in their field. And this is important because the brand of AAA was being targeted to a very highbrow and a very high status group of people. This alone told me where the logo should be heading visually speaking. I made these keywords in Miller Notes, and this is something I always find beneficial to my logo design process. The other aspect of importance to me initially was the fact that AAA is heavily orientated around infrastructure and also the asbestos education. And to quickly fill you guys in, asbestos is a building material that is currently banned in many countries because it causes severe lung disease and cancer. That is if you're exposed to the fibers that make up asbestos. And one of their goals is to educate and reform businesses around the dangers of things like asbestos. My client, AAA, really had a very specific client base, and I wanted to really hone in on what that kind of person was and how to serve them with their logo. So I knew I wanted to make use of angled straight lines for my logo, and this is for a variety of reasons. Straight-edged lines or logo shapes such as squares and triangles suggest stability in more practical terms and can also be used to imply balance. Straight lines and precise logo shapes connote strength, professionalism, and efficiency. These are all great connotations to express a business that works with building infrastructure, education, and health and safety. Also, of course, professionalism is going to appeal to the target market in this instance, as they are high-ranking professionals in their sectors. And in the last 2 years in my logo design process, shape psychology has formed a huge and important part of the entire process, and I don't design a logo without contemplating shape psychology these days. So now I understood where I was going in the project. It was just a case of actually doing it. So I started to work with geometric straight edge shapes and thought of ways to incorporate a triangle or an A style shape into the logo mark. I didn't want to run with a typographic style logo comprised literally of AAA and nothing else. I felt like the company needed a strong brand symbol that was sophisticated and contemporary. Now, as I made my concepts, I kept returning to my keywords and the research on the target market. I kept asking myself if this shape or this specific font will relate back to that kind of person. And so I ended up with 5 different concepts that I mocked up onto a PDF, well, 5 PDFs actually. And then funnily enough, the client did choose the PDF I felt was most strongest. The strongest concept out of my 5 concepts. And so that was a good indicator to me that I was doing things right in terms of that specific concept. And from there, we took that final concept and worked on small tweaks such as the logo type, the layout and color choices and so forth. The final design is a very simple logo mark that comes across as a formal and professional end solution. There is negative space towards the bottom that suggests a triangle shape of strength, as well as the letter A form. The shape itself and this bottom part also connotes a building or an angled straight lines that play into the shape psychology of a strong, sturdy building. I really feel like this logo provides AAA with a more serious and a more established presence in their sector, and it's a real improvement on the previous logo they had for their website and their brand. So why was this logo successful, and why was the client and myself happy at the end of the day? Pretty much research and just understanding the most important things to be hitting, and in this instance it was the target market and also the specific industry of AAA. But yeah, let me know if you learned something today or you're inspired, and also click a video on screen to learn more about graphic design. And until next time guys, design your future today. Peace.